All right, everybody, here we are in our first best of three in this CHOC charity tournament hosted by Frost Giant Studios. And this is going to be starring in the Blue Vanguard. This is Yoru. And his opponent in this early round, not quite the first round, but in this early round, is going to be Kel, the Infernal player. And if you have been watching my YouTube channel lately, first of all, thank you. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate the views. But you may have seen a few games with the player Riptide, and I have been a bit coy about who that was in some of my casts, and that's because it was Yoru. And Yoru asked me to keep it secret while he was practicing in his Vanguard. And I think the cat has out of the bag. I mean, it is now. But Yoru had to change that account to his Yoru account for seeding in the tournament. And so I think everyone now knows that Riptide is indeed Yoru. But right now we've got Vault opening from Kel. That Brute comes out in time to start chasing the Scout away again. The Scout's already eaten some of the cabbages on the map. But we saw there that Yoru had opened with a command post first. So he's trying to just stay on his eco, get ahead, and harass this creep force. So that cabbage had not been eaten yet, so he goes and grabs that cabbage. Kel's weaker hexing could have grabbed it earlier, and that might have been a better play. But that allows Yoru's pup to get back here. He doesn't get any of the creeps, it doesn't look like, but he did keep some of those fiends busy for a while. It's sort of a little bit of a cat and mouse game here. You want to jack some creeps if you can, but you don't want to lose that scout. And Yoru has been training well, so he knows where to find the cabbages, and he goes out and eats another one, getting that scout back up to full. But now it's fiends coming across the map, and they're gonna go and try for a jack, it looks like, because there are two Lancers out here. That's a fairly good... Actually, let's see. They're trying to get in, but they see the two Lancers, and Kel backs off. Somewhat wisely. The Fiends got a buff. They are up to 8 damage per hit. A couple patches ago, that was 6, and then it got buffed to 7, and now it got buffed to 8. And that's to try and make them a little more effective since they got their hit point reduction, which... unfortunately makes them very squishy, and they can't deal a lot of their damage because they die very quickly. Well, it depends on what kind of units they're facing. So Frost Giant's hoping that with another point of damage increase that they might have some impact. We saw one Fiend go running off, and that looks like it's a Scout Fiend that's going to go scout out for a potential third base. But it's a lot of Brutes that we're seeing here, not upgraded yet. The Scout's going to see this. Let's see, is there a Hellforge? There is a Hellforge on the way, and it's about 3/4 done. It's a third base that Kel has, but no Imps there yet. Still working to saturate the second base, and let's see, on 10 and 5 in the main base. So 10 on Luminite, which is somewhat optimal if you can pull the right 2 off. And then there's 5 on Therium. I tend to be more of a 7 or 8 on Therium kind of guy, but maybe he's still working to saturate that. Actually, we get a little bit of an encounter here. They're fighting over the Shadow Mastiffs, but it looks like most of them get killed by Kel, but at the cost of some of his Fiends going down and maybe a Brute to this force from Yoru. And Yoru's going to be a little bit aggressive. And notice he's playing with Exos. Exos were nerfed in the recent patch, but then kind of rebuffed just a little bit in the hotfix that we got. Was that yesterday? And that's because with the new changes to turning, it made their stutter step a little bit less, I don't know. It made it more clunky, I guess. And folks were not happy with that. And I think since that's kind of part of their core kit, Frost Giant went to make a fix there. So this base gets harassed, but it does get cancelled and the imp gets taken out. And yoru not, I mean, until now, has just sort of been poking, and now he's trying to go in for a little bit more of a poke, and there is a Hellborn in the back there. Remember, Hellborn got changes to their DPS as well. Their DPS has actually gone down versus units, even though their attack speed has gone up. And actually, it looks like this force from yoru is going to be pretty devastating, as almost all of those units from Kel were cleaned up. The Exo's doing a really good job here. Hellborn goes down too, and now it is imps being taken off. A couple Hellborn pulling in, but I don't think them alone are going to be enough. The Exos try and push forward. A couple of them actually only going for the Hellborns here. I think what they do, yeah, they want to push forward together and get some focus fire. There are a lot of low Exos here, and so if they cannot kill the Hellborn, they are at risk. But we saw a lot of them got promoted when that Hellborn went down, and that just heals up a lot of them, and that's going to be GG in game 1 out of Kel. Alright, we're back at it in game number 2. We've got Kel here in the Blue Infernal. And let's just take a moment to appreciate how good this game is looking right now. Holy moly, we got this cool new summoning graphics, the shroud with the smoke, the fire on the edge of the shroud, cool green therium, whatever that is. Alright, and his opponent in the red, in playing the Vanguard faction, is yoru, aka Riptide, and he is going for a fast expand again. It served him well in that first match on Broken Crown, and here we are on another small map. He says, fine, I'm going to do it again. Kel scouts it out. Well, he scouted it last game. Is Kel going to change his build? He's got 2 vaults. I think that is a change. He is going to go a little bit more heavy on the aggression, I think, to start the game. Probably trying to punish this fast expand. Now, we see here the Hexen was trying to get that Bob, but this other Bob, his best friend, is giving him the healing hugs and making sure he's not going to go down. And we have yoru chasing the Hexen away. You see how the Hexen eats the cabbage? That's as much to heal up as it is to deny it from the scout. And now the Hexen's being more aggressive and uses a Skull of Shedda on the scout. Now the scout is not going to go down. Oh, so close actually. I don't know if it would have, but you don't use the skull right away. You do it once you get the Hexen low enough, or sorry, the scout low enough that you might be able to kill it. And a Bob does go down, possibly 2. And we are actually seeing this early aggression pay off as a couple more Bobs went down. Now we're getting healing hugs. But, ooh, and just in time that Bob does get healed up. And now the Lancer and the Scout are able to pick off that extra Fiend. There's still a Brute here. The Brute does want to fight. Doesn't really, he wants to fight the Scout. Boom. Yeah, okay, hit another one. Ah, there goes the Scout. So that's good for the Infernal player there. And manages to get his very low Brute away. What is he at? 9 hit points. That's like 1 smack from a Lancer, I'm sure. What is there down? Yeah, exactly. So he goes down. But we get split. And now we're going to see, can these Fiends actually kill? Oh, I think that was just a lucky promote. That was not a promote skill. That was just getting promoted from killing that. And wow, GG from Kel.